Not so long ago, I did a video about whether you're going to be playing Battlefield 4 on the PC, or on the next generation consoles, or for that matter, on the current generation consoles. Now, the outcome was fairly mixed. A lot of you guys pretty much shunned the current gen consoles and said you were going to be moving to something next gen, not really saying which console it actually was, because at the point in time, we didn't really know too much about those consoles. And a lot of you actually expressed your desire to move over to PC gaming. You thought that the cost was sort of coming down for components and stuff like that, and you said it was cheaper than ever to move across to PC. So that's really what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about Battlefield 4 on the PC. Now, just a little bit of background information. Battlefield 4 is currently being developed on AMD hardware. We know this because back in the 27th of March we saw the single player reveal for Battlefield 4, and on the same day they updated Battlelog, and at the bottom of the page we saw the AMD Gaming Evolved logo. This all but confirmed that Battlefield 4 was indeed being developed on AMD hardware, specifically with GPUs in mind. Now, along the line, we've had the multiplayer reveal at E3, and we saw the PCs that were available there. I'll get to that in a minute. And we also saw that another single-player campaign reveal at E3 as well. That, in turn, took place in the Xbox One reveal. So these PCs that were running the multiplayer at E3, how powerful were they? Well, here's a little guide. We're starting off with an AMD FX 8350 CPU. Now, for those of you who aren't really sort of all technical and geeky like I am, that is a very powerful processor. That's an 8-core CPU clocked at 4 GHz stock. Now, that's a seriously powerful bit of kit right there, and it was water-cooled as well, so this thing, we needed to get maximum performance out of it. That beastly CPU was paired with 12 GB of 1600 MHz Corsair memory, and running the graphics show, we've got two 7970 AMD graphics cards, both with 6 GB of GDDR5 memory. Now, totaling the whole price of all of these builds put together amounts to over $300,000. That's for all 66 PCs that were running at the E3 multiplayer reveal. I say 66 because of course there were two separate PCs for the Commander mode. These don't actually take 64-man slots out of the game, so it's actually a 66-man game now. So doing some simple maths, that comes down to $4,000 a PC. Now that means that that PC that was sitting right there was a serious bit of kit. But is it necessary to have a $4,000 PC? Well, I can tell you right off the bat, no. What those PCs were running was a pre-alpha version of Battlefield 4, which in layman's terms means it's completely unoptimized for the system it's actually running on. So they have to compensate for that by giving it an overkill machine. This way we didn't see all of the frame drops so much, all of the little jitters that might have been there on a lower CPU, a lower graphics card with less memory. With a lesser build, you were going to see those glitches that DICE didn't want you to see at that stage. So moving forward, looking towards the beta and looking forward to the final release of Battlefield 4, what are the components that you're going to need to run this game? Now right at this time we don't actually have any confirmed system requirements for Battlefield 4, but I'm going to hazard a guess on what we've seen already. Those PCs that were running at E3 are going to be along the lines of the hardware that you're going to need to run Battlefield 4. Now don't worry, you're not going to have to spend £4,000 to run Battlefield 4. You can sort of pick up a PC, a generally good PC, I know, for around $800. Now a lot of you might think, well, $800, that's not a huge amount, that's about 600 quid. Trust me, you can pick up some really good parts for £600, providing you build the system yourself and you really do look for the best deals that you can get. So for me personally, I'm pretty much going to go along the lines of what DICE has built so far. I'm going to be trying to upgrade my CPU either to an 8-core AMD or a Core i7 on the Intel side. Now one of those upgrades would require me to kit out a new motherboard as well, because an Intel socket doesn't fit into my current motherboard, so I might be steering towards the AMD side of things. However, Intel does have some seriously good performance at the moment. I've already got 16 GB of RAM running at 1600 MHz, the exact RAM that was actually running in the system at E3, so I'm pretty much set there. But currently what's lacking behind in my PC is my graphics card. At the moment I'm running a HD 6950, which is technically a generation behind the 79 series that we're seeing right now. So I'm going to be looking to upgrade to either a 7970 GHz edition or moving over to the Nvidia side of things, picking up an older 680 or a brand new 780 graphics card. Now, I don't tend to play Battlefield on the highest settings. Even Battlefield Bad Company 2, which my PC can run perfectly fine at 60 frames per second on ultra settings, I like playing down at low so that I can get the maximum amount of frames out of my system that is humanly possible. So pretty much the things that I'm going to be using for my computer are going to give me that 60 frames per second smooth action. I'm going to be getting way over the top of that, even with the 7970, which isn't quite as powerful as the Nvidia cards. I'm still going to be getting solid 60 frames on pretty much any map I play. So that brings me on to you guys. If you've got a PC, are you going to be upgrading for Battlefield 4? Do you think the components in your computer currently right now are going to be able to run Battlefield 4 at a rate that you'd be happy to play the game in? I want to know all your comments, guys. I really want to sort of get a feel for what you guys like to game on. If you're still sticking to console, that's fine. Leave that down in the comments as well. But list as much as you can about your PC build or your console setup or your whole PC setup and how you think you're going to change it or maybe keep it the same for Battlefield 4. Leave a comment below. So that nearly is the end of the video, guys, now. I know it's been quite short, but I do have a couple more announcements that I'd like to make. I do try my best to reply to as many comments and as many messages as you guys send me on YouTube. I'm quite proud of the fact that I try and reply to as many comments as I can. However, I'm going to impose another solution. If you guys want to talk to me, if you want to ask me questions, then I'm going to tell you right now, head over to my Twitter and follow me. Even on there, I answer pretty much anyone's questions. You can tweet me all day and I will tweet back. Currently at my place of work right now, we're allowed to use our phones, so pretty much all day I'm going to be able to tweet you all the answers to your questions. I'm going to be joining in conversations. Me and Matt the Musketeer spend a lot of our day on Twitter talking to you guys and other YouTubers, so if you want to join in the conversation, then head over to my Twitter and follow me. If Twitter's not for you, I do indeed have a Facebook page. It's not as updated as much as my Twitter feed is, because obviously I'm on Twitter all the time. It's like text messaging, you just send one and then another one and another one. But I do update my Facebook page from time to time, so if you want to go over there as well and like that page, that would be much appreciated. Both of the links are in the description, they always have been. Just scroll past my normal little description up the top and you'll find a section where all my music is listed and all my social media is in there as well, along with a subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. Now, this really is the end of the video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a like, and as I've said, I want to know all your comments about Battlefield 4 PC requirements, what you're going to be changing, or if you're going to be staying with console, make sure you do leave a comment. I try and read as many as I can. But my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.